Hey folks, it's Jake Davis on the Fly Review for you, and today I'm talking about In the Earth, released back at Sundance at the beginning of the year, and got a theatrical release in the States back in April. This movie is directed by Ben Wheatley, who directed Free Fire from 2017, starring Brie Larson and Armie Hammer. I enjoyed that movie. Just a 90-minute shoot 'em up, literally a feature-length gunfight. All there is to it. This movie stars Joel Fry, Reese Shearsmith, Haley Squires, and Laura Torchia. The whole setup here is a disease is basically wiping out humanity, and the government, basically governments of the world, have pretty much convinced it it's all coming from this one particular forest in England. Over the last few months, countless guides and scientists have gone missing in this forest. Whatever the hell is this entity, these spores that grow there, this kind of fungi, are kind of fucking up the radio thing and causing mass hallucinations and even turning people insane. The bulk of our story is this one dude is going to try to go up to his ex-girlfriend's camp. He's a scientist, she's a scientist. He's going to go up there and try to see if she's still alive, bring her out, and it's him and his guide, and them going through it. Now, to me, if the premise sounds familiar, it's pretty much because it's a total ripoff of Alex Garland's Annihilation, a movie I thought was overrated in the first place. It was very well respected, got lots of good reviews, but I thought it was just boring. I thought it was a pretty boring movie. This film was awful. I prefer Annihilation to this. This was really, really terrible. I do want to give good credit to Reese Shearsmith. He was really good in it, very strong performance, and for that matter, all four of the unknowns. Because I've never heard or seen any of these four actors before. I thought they all did a good job. All were very hungry, taking advantage of roles with plenty of screen time. The movie had, on the negative side, it really comes down to two big things. Other than total lack of originality, feeling like a copy and paste ripoff of a movie that kind of just came out a few years ago, only like 3 years old, that film. But aside of that, the movie has a very, very cheap look. I mean, it looks like straight to DVD early 2000s shit. It looks like it was shot on somebody's property. I mean, of course it was shot on somebody's property, but it really feels like it's just, backyard kind of looking forest. I don't like the forest look of this movie. It doesn't look rich or even particularly dangerous. I didn't like the Wrong Turn movie from earlier this year at all. It was just Wrong Turn in name alone. But I did like the forest, and I like all the rises and the peaks and the caverns. It looked like real woods I grew up in. You know what I mean? In movies, the woods always kind of look too flat. You know what I mean? Trees are always so conveniently perfectly spaced out. I mean, they're just fine. There are forests like that, sure, but none of the ones, not where I grew up. But anyhow, but other than that, the real problem for this film, now I'm rambling about fucking trees for 3 minutes. The real problem with this film to me was the strobe lights. There's a massive, severe. There's an issue. I mean, it really is to the point that I kind of feel like this movie should have a warning for epileptics at the beginning of it. Because you'll have a seizure if you watch this movie. The second half of the movie relies way too heavily on strobe lights and this kaleidoscope, psychedelic, Kubrick mind trip shit, trying way too hard for that stuff, and it gets to the point where the movie is literally physically unwatchable for me. I could not look at the screen. It was giving me a goddamn headache, and I just could not wait for the movie to end. As far as the ending goes, I'm not going to give a spoiler away here, but I think the last 5 minutes of the movie is just a waste. It's boring. The movie it just ends. It's just over. And I think there's a lot unresolved. There's more story here, and we could have spent more time on our characters' lives and trying to get them to a safe place and having a actual closure in this little picture instead of just going on some 2001 wannabe crap. Anyhow, I'm going to give this movie 1 star. I think it's one of the weakest films of the year, and which is a pretty weak year, even though I've seen several really good movies lately. You know, I definitely would recommend movies like Reminiscence, The Protege, and, what was the other one I saw that I really liked? Mine's going blank here. I just saw a movie Voyagers. That was a really, really good movie. The Lord of the Flies in space. Fuck 'em. I loved it. It's better than that one little stupid stunt was more creative and entertaining than the last 13 young adult movies I saw, YA novel adaptations. Anyhow, 1 star, shit movie, don't waste your time. Hope y'all enjoyed this video. I don't care. I don't care. I'm Jake Davis. I'll catch you on the fly.